Riot Games has become one of the biggest game developers in the world, developing a game with arguably the highest number of monthly players on PC, up to 110 million players a month, which is around 1 in 68 people around the world. This game is of course League of Legends, a multiplayer online battle arena where 5 champions with abilities are tasked to defeat an opposing team's base through, hopefully but optimistically, working as a team to take down objectives, farm gold, and killing your opponents without bagging out your 0 and 15 bot lane. Riot Games has developed a wildly successful game and is expanding to create multiple games in multiple markets: Teamfight Tactics, Legends of Runeterra, Valorant, and products within the fighting games and RPG games industries, among others. What has made Riot Games as successful as they are, especially as they have only been around for 14 years? To answer this question, we need to briefly delve into their birth and the decisions they made that forged their prosperity as game developers. Riot Games started from 2 American business students, Brandon Beck and Mark Merrill, who wished to develop free-to-play games starting in 2006. They acquired Steve Feek and various developers from the Warcraft community. Feek was part of the original team who created Defense of the Ancients, a Warcraft 3 mod inspired by a StarCraft map. The mod involved 2 players spawned at opposite corners of the map who would take down the opponent's ancient or base. They began developing their own version, at first named Onslaught, but it was changed into League of Legends. At first, it wasn't great, but it was a game nonetheless. One of the first decisions that Riot Games had to make almost solely dictated its success: the business model. Riot chose a free-to-play business model where the revenue was brought in through microtransactions where you could buy cosmetics. This model brought them well ahead of a new competitor, Heroes of Newerth, despite Heroes of Newerth being a much more polished game at the time. A Riot Games employee, Jeff Jew, believed this was because the Asian and Southeast Asian markets particularly didn't want to pay an upfront hefty price for the game. Being free to play, it was also more accessible to the video game arcade industry in Asia, which still to this day booms as most people don't buy personal computers. Heroes of Newerth ended up reversing its premium business model for a free-to-play model in July 2011, but by that time, League of Legends had shot too far ahead. Valve's own MOBA, Dota 2, ended up climbing into the genre, but League of Legends was already gaining huge traction by this point. As League of Legends rose, Riot Games ventured into the eSports industry and it became huge.
I'm like, even though I only have a mat on the floor, I think he's in the bed. Oh, Faker may be in trouble here. Deathmark tries to clean it up for Ryu. Oh, look at the cleanse, look at the moves! Faker, what was that?
Losing all of his health, and there it comes in, but at the same time a fight in the bottom side. Ulti used on Nikita's keep alive. Reckless tries to zone the team out, and he's so low, but there come the teleports. Hootie has arrived, and holy crap! Everyone's dying in this fight. Reckless goes down, Zatai gets a bunch back, but Hootie, the double, the triple kill, the quadra kill for Hootie!
Each year, more and more millions of people were watching Worlds, essentially the World Cup for League of Legends. League of Legends Worlds in 2011 saw 950,000 unique viewers. Every year, they've been gaining an average of 15 million viewers. In 2019, the Worlds series for League of Legends peaked at over 100 million unique viewers. They were able to accelerate this growth as League of Legends eSports wasn't just about the game, it was a spectacle. Beyond the game and the grandeur of the production levels was an entire commentary cast team that was centered around a culture of memes and fun, integrated in their work as commentators.
So Freak, how are you enjoying the European side of the LCS?
Well, Shocked, call me McDonald's because I'm loving it. Xpeki did not expect that lane, and really it was ill-fated for him.
And joining me in the interview lounge is the propagator of the preposterous puns, David Freak Turley.
Demon, would you say that they're punposterous?
But you know what's even better than a League of Legends caster like Freak? A Korean League of Legends caster.
자,
바로 쭉 두명 죽었습니다. 바론이 어떤 바론이 하지만 사람은 살아야죠. 원더에게 도망가야 됩니다. 원더에게 도망가야 돼요. 페이커까지 한 번 더. 에이스.
It's 2013, and League of Legends is in its 4th year of existence. It was beginning to reach legendary status as it rose and rose and rose in popularity. But for my personal research, if any other AAA developer and publisher had made this game, I don't think any of them could have made it as popular as Riot Games did. Why do I think this? Riot Games does something better than most other AAA developers. They are able to communicate on the level of their consumers despite being a corporate giant. They act and appear as a very genuine company that wants to produce the best service. How do they do this? 3 ways. The first is continuous and consistent updates to the game with their thought processes behind the changes projected to the community. Patches to the game occur every 2 weeks without fail, with lots of notes written to explain their decisions. The second is that Riot loves a good meme. They meme themselves to appear more genuine, such as feeding into the meme of another Lux skin, or another patch to Rise, or references to community-wide hatred of the devil himself, Teemo. They have even fulfilled meme requests for skins, such as Star Guardian Urgot, a dark, sinister champion with an absolutely ridiculous cosmetic skin, all because the player base secretly wanted the skin. They even used memes to help them in announcing new games. Riot was particularly nervous about their next game announcement, Teamfight Tactics, the League of Legends equivalent of Dota Auto Chess, the champion behind a new genre of games, the Auto Battler. The first problem was that they were shipping out a mobile version, and the PC gaming community had not taken well to a recent mobile game announcement, Diablo Immortal.
Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
So, Riot decided to embrace the meme a little bit.
From the moment we launched TFT, players have been asking for a mobile version of the game. It turns out, you guys actually do have phones. So by popular demand, we're announcing Teamfight Tactics as its own separate app for iOS and Android devices.
The result? 5 million downloads in the first 3 weeks with a decent reception. Putting aside memes, the second problem that Riot Games had was that the game could be easily perceived as a Dota Auto Chess clone. So, instead of pretending that it was a new idea, or attacking fans who didn't like the idea,
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah.
they admitted that employees had been often playing Dota Auto Chess in the office and made a league equivalent with heavy influences from Auto Chess. This helped diffuse a lot of the controversy behind its announcement. Riot's third method of continuous communication with the community is to take a lot of input from the community, particularly content creators, for new ideas or solutions to current problems. It's not the Reddit warriors so much that they take input from, but rather the community at large, on topics such as nerfs, buffs, reworks, bug fixing, skins, modes, and more. Some notable examples include a Tristana skin community vote, ARAM as an official game mode, the Pajama Guardian Urgot skin, hotfixes to overpowered champion releases, and more. As Riot Games is close to releasing Valorant, their new tactical FPS, on day 1 of closed beta they brought together the content creators that were testing the game and told them the game's vision, content, how to play, and how they were going to improve upon other FPSs such as CSGO. The opinions of the content creators were valuable to their decision making. Take this in comparison to Valve, who assumes almost complete creative control over their games, with the exception of Steam Workshop cosmetic skins.
An eye on. Turns out, I was able to play during the last weekend alongside 300 other streamers and YouTubers as Riot organized a big alpha test. Thank you, by the way, Riot, for inviting me and organizing this, because I'm gonna say it right away, I've been playing CS for 15 years, and I never got to talk with anyone from Valve, like, ever. They follow me on Twitter, and that's the only contact I've ever had with any one of them.
Great success never comes without failure, and Riot has continuously been the subject of huge controversies over the past 10 years. Many of the past issues include a huge gender discrimination lawsuit, huge imbalance issues throughout League's history, upsets over some monetization strategies, and some out-of-touch comments from staff speaking to the community. Most recently, eSport team 100 Thieves was stopped from streaming Valorant for a day due to the concerns over the developer's preference to North American eSport teams. Many European eSport clubs with successful CSGO teams wanted more access to the game. Riot's effective strategy to deal with these issues, which others should also learn from, is to acknowledge the existence of the issue and lay out the steps they will take to solve it.
To be straight with you, there are some downsides to the from-scratch approach we've taken. We're not going to have every single champ and skin available on all platforms. And although you won't get the same unlocks between League on PC and this version, you will get great rewards for the time you've spent with League over the last 10 years.
This has worked very well for them. Riot Games today is now dominant in the video games industry. They are now attempting to do what the top tech giants like Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft do: dip their toes into several different industries to expand further, using their brand recognition and reputation and capital as a means of gaining market share quickly. They want to create an entire ecosystem based around their brand, something that the likes of Google, Apple, and Costco have mastered. The only video game company I can think of that has perfected this is Nintendo. The game is no longer a game, it's in the progress of becoming a lifestyle. Riot's methodologies in doing so include creating 3 virtual bands, a huge amount of lore, arcade games based on League, a board game, a ton of merchandise, their own anime series, 7 new game projects after League, including an eSport team manager, and probably a whole lot more that hasn't been disclosed yet. Riot Games has been so dominant in the video game industry that it's moving past Bethesda, Blizzard Activision, Ubisoft, CD Projekt Red, and more to form into a fully fledged entertainment company. For those who have reached the end of the video, I hope you found it very insightful and that you liked it. Please let me know if you did or you didn't, and also let me know what else you would like to see. What other businesses would you like me to analyze? I shall see you soon.